Hey data fans, Reed here. Today I actually want to walk through a DAX scenario where I was working through a client model recently and I discovered a pattern which seemed to be repeating itself and had some opportunities for optimization. So I want to walk you through my thought process on how to identify those repeating patterns and a way to maybe consolidate and actually simplify a DAX pattern using this business case that I was encountering during development. So with that being said, I'll make this short and sweet at the beginning and let's go ahead and hop into Power BI and get started. So in the workbook that's available for download from my blog files page, we will have a metrics folder in here that contains the non-optimized original pattern and optimized pattern. Now taking a look at the non-optimized pattern here, I've obfuscated the data, so ignore the fact that we have random sectors assigned into here for the data itself. That was just to mask the original client data that I had and to create artificial data with the same pattern. But essentially, the final result down here was a divide function where there were three variables being added at the top, divided by four variables that we have here at the bottom. And I've named them accordingly, just in this order to show you the original pattern that I was encountering. Now, before we start doing any optimization, I will recommend that it is often good to potentially have a card or some type of visual to help you see the number as you're modifying the measure. This way, as you're validating, you can at least, while you have this open, ensure that those numbers aren't changing as you're consolidating and updating the pattern. Now, the final pattern that I have in here was consolidated to a single numerator and a single denominator, so you can see the simplified effect at the end result here, but I want to walk through how I kind of thought about this process, plus also mention a few keyboard shortcuts. So just starting from the top here, I can identify if I highlight this here, and there's a little trick. If you do Control Shift L, it will highlight any found values for that text that is repeating in the body of code that you're looking at for this DAX measure. So we can actually see that variables 1, 2, and 3 are identical. It is calculating the current year amount and having different filters. So there's an opportunity for me to consolidate these together. So what I'm going to use instead is the in function. And then if you put a curly bracket in here, then you can specify each of the options here below. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, cut this, paste that into here. I'm going to take this, cut it as well, paste that up here at the top, close the curly bracket, and let's go ahead and give this a carriage return just to format it a little bit, and then close off over here. There we are. And now what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these other two variables. There we go. So now we have variable 1 declared here, and I can delete these other two down at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and run this now just to make sure that that 8.2 doesn't change. So let's go ahead and evaluate this. I can press enter. I can also click the commit option up here, and we can see that the pattern so far hasn't changed the value that's being calculated. So it is still following the same logic, but in a consolidated single calculation that does not need to be added together. So similarly, let's take a look. We see for variables 4, 5, and 6, it starts with calculate prior year amount. Again, a Control Shift L highlights this. So that first value on the first row for all of these is going to be calculating the prior year amount for some filter, minusing the current year amount with other sets of filters. So once again, let's go ahead and consolidate these because I think this top line here can be combined with all of the rest of these. And then this bottom line down here as well can be combined with all of the bottom ones. So collectively, we can have a single variable for the bottom. So I'm going to, once again, change the equals to in, put a curly bracket here, and then I'm going to start commaing out the various other values. So cut, paste, and then I'm going to go down to this one, cut and paste, and one more for banking, cut, and down here, paste, and then put the curly bracket in there. There we go. And once again, let's go ahead and carriage return just to clean this up a little bit. So there's that top value into here. And now also what I can do is I can take this, because that pattern is going to be consistent in the CY one as well. So we're going to take that, put this down into here. There we are. And comment that out. And then we're going to go ahead and put that in there. So calculate the current year amount for in. And then this needs to be preceded by data sector right there. So now that we have variable 1, and let's just call this variable 2, and then we can get rid of the rest of these. So I can get rid of all of those because we've now consolidated the pattern. Variable 2, select that. That can go down here. And let's go ahead and run this once again. We can see that the pattern is once again remaining consistent. So now we have two variables to divide, and technically we can also, if we wanted to, call this the numerator, and then the bottom one, the denominator. And then copy, paste, copy, and paste. And we can even get rid of these brackets because those aren't really necessary anymore. Clean this up a little bit further. There we are. And I'd even say we can get this nice and cleaned up at the very bottom. And just go ahead and put the formatting back in there. Beautiful. If you want to learn more about DAX patterns and other training, we actually provide over 6 different days of training between beginner and advanced that has a series of labs, modules, and a lot of content constructed by myself and other MVPs. So I highly encourage you to go check those out and explore some of the content we have available online or in person. And now let's take a look at this one step further. Notice the fact that I have these two consolidated, this minus that, but this, because these are the exact same filters here and here, technically I could take this, cut, put it into there. I could even get rid of this entirely, right to there, and now calculate prior year minus current year for just these. And let's see once again, pattern has remained consistent. So I've even collapsed this even further down into two calculate functions for the base amount for the denominator and the numerator for current year minus prior year minus current year, with these two into a much cleaner consolidated final output, giving me the same result. Now, as I mentioned, this data is obfuscated, so the pattern itself related to sectors doesn't necessarily need to make sense, but it's a common thing that I encounter with clients is where they have a measure that is returning the correct number, which I will say is always the most important thing. As long as the value is correct, that's always a good starting point to have, but sometimes there might be repeating patterns that maybe are missed, which is one thing that I assist customers on quite a lot, is to how to optimize and clean up the code to make it run more efficiently and faster. So hopefully this was a good practice that helps you see some of the patterns you can look for. That Control-Shift-L to highlight other similar bodies of text in the DAX code is very useful for finding those patterns as well. But hopefully this is something that you can take with you and find useful to implement in your own models as well. Don't forget to check out some of our related videos. As always, drop any comments down below on what you thought about this video, ways you might use it, as well as any suggestions for a future video. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. And otherwise, I will see you in my next video.